So I just wanted to check, you're able to hear me now?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Yeah.
Sorry, you can hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you, sir.
हाँ Hello. We will wait. We'll wait for 2-3 minutes more. We'll start.
Yeah, absolutely, madam. No problem.
Yeah.
उसे କଥା ଏଇଠି ଆମ କ୍ୟାମେରା ମୁଁ ଅଫ୍ କରିଛି
Madam, while we have submitted a note or written note to the foundation, should I, once we get started, is it okay if I just also project a PowerPoint presentation, or you want me to just talk it through?
No, sir. PowerPoint presentation. PPT
Okay.
is must.
All
Yeah,
right.
PPT.
Okay. Yeah,
PPT,
just
sir.
wanted to check.
Yeah.
Yo, କହିଲ ହଁ ତମର ଆଜି କାଲି କାଲି ବି ରାସ୍ତା ଛାଡ଼ିଦେଇ ପଳେଇବା ନା ନା ହଁ ସାର୍ ନମସ୍କାର
Namaskar, namaskar.
Hello. Hello. We
Yes,
have
madam.
11 participants. So I think we will start. We'll not wait.
All right, ma'am. Sure. So should I get started? Or
Yes, sir. I'll start, sir.
sure,
I'll
sure.
start. Very good evening. Today, on behalf of Odisha Corporation Foundation, I, Usha Shirath, would like to welcome our guest speaker today, Mr. Mohan Ramaswamy, and all the participants of today's a very insightful talk evening. I would like to just give a very brief idea about Mr. Mohan Ramaswamy, who's a co-founder and chief executive officer at Rubix Data Sciences Private Limited. Over a rapidly progressive career of 23 plus years, sir has considerable expertise and exposure to the various facets of setting up and heading and managing different verticals and entities in various geographical markets. Today, our topic is unlocking success and compliance data sciences. Let's hear from him about the key areas, strategy, and planning of Rubix Data Sciences. And over to you, sir. We all are waiting eagerly to hear from you about this a very different topic today. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, and thank you everyone for inviting us. It's been our absolute pleasure to participate as part of these initiatives that OCF undertakes. I'm sorry, my throat is a little bad, so you'll have to bear with me. Although I'll try my best to make sure that I'm audible. Uh, so, as Madam said, information-based decision making has become extremely important for businesses, corporations, banks, and every other financial institution. And that is where we as Rubix Data Sciences play a significant role as we work with, practically all the banks in India, several financial institutions, a lot of insurance companies, and of course, 1,000+ corporates in helping them take decisions and also grow their business profitably. We were founded. I will not strictly go by the each of the PowerPoint slides, but I will talk it through so that we are able to understand each other well. And if there are any questions, you can stop and ask me to. So we started Rubix in 2017 end, that is beginning of 2018. And we are four of us who co-founded Rubix. I'll just put this up first. As you can see, all four of us have significant experience in the risk information and analytics domain. We were part of several institutional building efforts that happened in India. We were all colleagues formerly at in a company called DNB, Dun and Bradstreet, that some of you will be familiar with. So we were part of the team that actually built that business in India. And as we were building that business, we also got an opportunity to participate in the process of setting up a credit bureau in India called CIBIL. My other colleague, Dr. Vishnu Ramchandran, was also part of the process of setting up the Experian Credit Bureau. We also set up SMERA, which is today called Acute Ratings, a credit rating agency. So as you can see, the four of us have extensive experience in the information and analytics domain. And that is what helped us confidently establish Rubix in 2018. We wanted to ensure that this is a technology-enabled decision-making model that we built. So the platform that we built initially, as we started, is called Rubix ARMS, ARMS, called Automated Risk Management and Monitoring System, that helps banks and businesses, look at a lot of information data points and enable decision making. Whether if bank wants to lend to an MSME or a mid corporate or a small corporate or a large corporate, we facilitate that process. Right. Likewise, corporate, when they want to work with another corporate, be it an SME or a mid corporate in India or overseas, we provide them the information on the Indian entity or the overseas business, in helping them understand the company better and helping them take a risk. And we do this, as mentioned in the slide, we do this using a lot of information data points that we capture through 120 plus sources, both structured and unstructured data. We use a lot of analytics and technology, whether it is artificial intelligence or more importantly, machine learning, because, a lot of data, given that a lot of data is processed, the machine or the systems also learn through multiple data points and help also make our models a lot robust over time. We are trusted by 850 plus banking, insurance, and corporate customers today. I think this number is close to about 1,000 odd. We are very strongly funded, as initially we funded ourselves, and of course there were friends and family who supported the process. But today we are funded by IFC, the International Finance Corporation, and several other uh, private equities like Chirate, Payu, etc. through through the India's largest supply chain finance company called Vayana. And as part of the process, we also not just help our customers in doing risk assessment or in undertaking risk assessment of their customers, dealers, or distributors, or vendors or suppliers when it comes to corporates. We also, facilitate in providing financing, whether it is supply chain financing or channel financing or vendor financing, etc., through Vayana. So we are able to comprehensively provide a suite of solutions to our customers. We have been recognized under the Startup India scheme of the Government of India. We also recently won the ET Exceller Award because, given that India is predominantly a country where we have several of SMEs, that is micro, small, and medium units in India. So we have developed these automated tools that help in analyzing these small companies better, where information is not publicly available. So we recently won that award from ETBFSI about a couple of months back. We also won awards from IMC Digital, primarily for the technology that we've built. We've also been, we won the award for the platform also that we built by IMC. So IMC awarded us both for the platform, that is the Rubix ARMS, the automated risk management and monitoring system platform that we built initially, and also the early warning signals, which is used for monitoring or keeping a continuous tab on businesses going forward. So for both of these technology-led initiatives, we were awarded by IMC in different years. On the right are the suite of offerings that I have mentioned, and I will take you through, I'll skip to the next few slides to take you through some of these products in detail. These are some of our customers. We work with a lot of good corporate customers, whether it is DHL or FedEx or Apar Industries or Reliance and the Reliance Group companies, L&T, several Tata Group businesses, Tata Chemicals, Tata AIG, etc. Delivery, also the recent businesses, e-commerce led businesses, we work with very, very closely. We practically work with about 60 to 70 odd logistic companies. We work with a lot of crop protection businesses like United Phosphorus, Crystal Crop Protection, so on and so forth, Indophil, etc. We work with several, healthcare businesses as well. And this is just a glimpse of some of the customers that we work with, both on the supply chain front and on the distribution front. And I will take you through what we do there. These are, when it comes to banks, it is for the most part, it is an empanelment-led process where banks have to first empanel us. So they look at our scoring model, they look at our data gathering process, they look at how we analyze companies, they look at our automated platform, and they also look at the early warning signals that we built, basis which they decide whether to empanel us or any other agency. So I'm happy to let you know that all banks, or rather most banks, have empaneled us in India, right from SBI to Canara Bank, to Bank of Baroda, to Bank of Maharashtra, to Union Bank, to Central Bank, to Karnataka Bank, Kotak, Axis, IndusInd, Likewise, the insurance companies also, export ECGC, the Export Credit Guarantee Corporation of India, for all the export policies they issue. We help them underwrite the risk by providing them reports on the overseas entities, basis which they can confidently go ahead and issue the policies to the Indian exporters. Likewise, the domestic insurance businesses also, the likes of SBI General Insurance, Tata AIG, Atreides, New India Assurance, uh, etc. All of them work very, very closely with us. I'm sure all of you would also know about SAP, right? So SAP also recently, signed a partnership with us where we are in the process of helping SAP customers anywhere in the world with respect to risk assessment that they would want to carry out on their customers or suppliers or vendors, again, anywhere in the world. So our platform, the Rubix Arms, is embedded into the SAP. They call it the S4 HANA, where it is nothing but a module that corporate customers, it's an ERP module that corporate customers have. So the Rubix Arms platform is embedded in the SAP module, which helps our SAP customers take decisions with a fair bit of confidence. We've also partnered with a lot of companies and businesses, because information is one where when you analyze a company, you need information from all sources so that you are able to understand the company a lot better. We were also recently, empaneled by the CCI, the Clearing Corporation of India subsidiary called LEI, Legal Entity Identifier India Limited, along with GLIFE, the Global Legal Entity Identifier Foundation, with blessings from the RBI to issue LEIs in India. Now, LEI is becoming the de facto unique identifier for businesses in India. And given our digital diligence capabilities, we were empaneled as the validation partner for them. So we validate the information that SMEs and companies provide, to get LEI issued, and then we turn that around in a matter of an hour or two by when the LEI is issued to businesses. Now, I just wanted to very quickly take you through what we do for corporates now, and I'll split my discussion into two parts. One with respect to what we do for corporates, and the other with respect to what we do for banks, because I was told that we have participation from both the banks and corporates as part of this initiative. So for corporates, we help our corporates in the entire credit life cycle journey. All right. So there are four key aspects of the credit life cycle journey. One is the onboarding. Now, onboarding stage is one where our customers onboard onboard their customers or vendors. So, right, as an example, DHL. Now, DHL Express works with, let's say, tens of thousands of customers each month. But before they decide to work with them, they want to know who is KYC compliant, right? So that is where we work with such businesses in doing KYC checks, whether it is video KYC or audio KYC or through eKYC, as we call it, and we validate the information that is provided by our customer's customer, and basis the report that we give, our customer decides whether to onboard their customers or suppliers, as the case may be. Right. So we build technology-led uh, diligence mechanisms, basis which we validate the information and decide whether our customers should go ahead and onboard their potential customers or suppliers, as the case may be. So once the onboarding happens is when the corporate would need to ascertain the risk assessment of the entities, right? So a lot of corporates work on credit. Now, let's say United Phosphorus, UPL as an example, which is our customer, or our APAR Industries as an example, that's our customer, right? Now, they would want to issue credit to, if it's a distribution-led business, then to their dealers and distributors. If it's a institutional business or a B2B kind of business, they may want to issue credit to the other corporate that they are engaging with. So this is where we do the risk assessment of the dealers or distributors or corporate customers and decide whether and provide a risk score along with the credit limit, basis which United Phosphorus or UPL decides whether they can go ahead and transact business on credit. And if yes, what is the level of credit they can give? Can they give 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs or 3 lakhs or 2 lakhs or 1 lakh, depending on the credit profile of the distributor. Likewise, we also help our corporates on the supply chain front. So they may want to work with vendors and suppliers in India or overseas, in international market. So we do the risk assessment of those entities and give them a health check of how those companies are, right? Besides, I mean, basis which they decide, okay, this is a good vendor to work with, or this is a good supplier to work with, be it in India or in markets like China, US, Europe, wherever, right? So, and then they can confidently decide, okay, these are good customers, these are good vendors that they can safely go ahead and transact business with. So this is where this is where a lot of corporates use us extensively, the risk assessment, both on the credit side and on the overall business side. The third piece that we do for corporates, and which I believe is extremely important, is monitoring, right? So it is not enough if you were to decide who's credit worthy. So today you want to take a decision on what is the credit that I want to give to a UPL, a United Phosphorus dealer, right? So we provide the risk assessment report. You decide, okay, this is the limit I want to extend. But how do you know if the credit worthiness of these dealers and distributors remain the same month on month, quarter on quarter, right? So which is why it is important to also monitor them on an ongoing basis. So here is where we look at a lot of important data points. We call it high frequency data points, where all of those data points are considered or looked at very, very closely, again using our technology platform that we built. And then we provide the changes, every quarter. We provide the what we call as a monitoring report or an early warning signal report on the platform every quarter, along with a change in score. The score may either be the same as what it was when we did the risk assessment the first time around, or it may improve or weaken, right? So if the score improves, it will give our customers an ability to transact maybe greater business with them. If the score weakens, then they may want to see how to mitigate the risk, because they would have taken a decision basis the score that was given earlier, but now the score is reduced. So what do? They will have to see how to reduce their exposure. Correct. Lastly, we also undertake collections for our customers. We call it B2B collections, where our customers' money might not have been received by our customers on time from their customers. So that is where we help them in collecting their outstandings, by using our network, by using the intelligence that we have on their customers, and thereby deciding what is the best strategy to be adopted so that you are able to collect the money on time. Right. So this is what these are different ways in which we help our corporate customers. And this is an example of what all we do in every single step. But before this, I will quickly come to the banking process as well. Now there are a lot of things that we undertake for banks, right? So banks again want to ensure that they end up working with the right businesses, whether it is in India or overseas, right? So we provide them the opinion reports or or credit reports, as is known in the banking parlance, on both the domestic entities and the overseas entities. And maybe I'll just go to the next slide to explain how banks use us extensively, right? Now, as you can see, uh, the report that banks use is called the business information report, right? Both on the domestic entity, that is a company in India or overseas. Now, this is used extensively by Treasury, Forex, IBD, and the trade finance teams, right? And this report is largely used to know the overall credit or the supplier or the compliance risk of the company in question. It also helps the bank, ascertain or rather verify the identity of the business. They may say that, okay, I am in steel or cement distribution, but how do you know that they are actually doing that or they are doing much more? So through our report that we provide, they are able to verify the identity of the business entity and overall also check the details of the company and who the management are, so on and so forth. When you decide to work with a company or when a bank decides to lend to an entity, it is important for the bank to also do a thorough compliance check, right? So this reports provide a compliance assessment of the entity, also checking the litigation records. There could be legal cases either from the Supreme Court or High Court or lower court. So we cover all of that in the report, which provides them a comprehensive understanding of the company. Then we analyze the financials and the non-financial aspect of the business. This again is very important. When you analyze a company, you need to know, you need to understand the same both from a financial and from a non-financial standpoint too. So again, we do that basis which the Rubix risk score is provided to the company. And lastly, like I explained, we also monitor this company on an ongoing basis so that banks know whether it continues to be credit worthy or not when, depending on when the first report was consumed by the bank for decision making. Likewise, we provide supplier verification reports to the credit team and the trade finance team. We provide debtor verification reports. We provide creditor verification reports. We also do MSME due diligence. A lot of the MSME teams in banks, before they decide to lend to an MSME, they would want us to do a detailed due diligence of the entity. So we undertake that and provide the MSME due diligence reports to banks. We also provide ROC search reports. Again, this is primarily done to enable the bank get a good understanding of the overall health and the risk of the company in question, right? So this is done primarily for the bank to get some initial insights into when was the company incorporated, what is the line of business, what is the GST number. If there is any shareholding pattern, they would want to understand that. Are there any charges, registered by the banks on this entity or by any other financial institution? And we provide the charge details too, with respect to who the charge holder is, what is the amount secured, what is the assets charged, date of creation, so on and so forth. So this is again a report which is used. The ROC search reports, as we call it, is used extensively by the banks. We then provide skip trace reports as well. So for a lot of banks where they are unable to collect the money from the MSME that they have lent to, they would want to know where is that MSME, right? Is that MSME in in the location where it originally was, or is it shut down, or has it disappeared, or have they started another business in another name, so on and so forth. So these skip trace reports help them in those efforts. We also provide the LEI. Like I said, LEI is becoming extremely important for bankers. Earlier, banks had decided that any money greater than 50 crores that the company wants to remit would necessarily need to have the LEI. Right now, that threshold has come down from 50 crores to 25 crores to 10 crores. And we are hearing that it will soon come down to 5 crores, but a lot of banks are also not strictly following the threshold, but they want to make sure that the LEIs are available for all of their customers, right? So again, this LEI is becoming extremely important. We also undertake TEV studies. TEV is nothing but a techno-economic viability study, either for a greenfield project or for a brownfield project, right? So banks, often want to decide whether to fund a greenfield project expansion a greenfield project or a brownfield project expansion. But they would want agencies like us to do a complete diligence of the technical aspects of the project in question. So we do a detailed technical and a financial analysis of the project, and basis the reports we provide, the bank then decides whether to go ahead and lend, to the particular project in question. Likewise, we also do lenders independent engineers, where again it's a detailed technical report of a particular project which is undertaken, which is supposed to be undertaken by an independent engineer, right? So here is where we work with a lot of experts in across different uh, industries, so that we are able to provide the LI report to our customers that will enable them take decisions. So this is a glimpse of what we do both for corporates and for banks. And before I wanted to explain another important aspect of what we do, but I just wanted to pause here to see if there are any questions, so that I can answer them and then take it forward.
Yeah, this is Samarendra. Uh, so when you are talking about trade finance, so all the KYC and document process will be done automatically, or while we upload the data for because in trade finance, what are the data for the customer to be verified. Got it?
Yeah.
So how this particular things come, means like how means what technology and how you are doing this, OCR
Sure.
or RPA or whatever. So I want to know about it a little bit.
Sure, absolutely. So when a bank gives us, that is when the trade finance team in a bank, before they decide to undertake a transaction, they would tell us that, okay, this is the name and the address of the company, whether it is in India or overseas, right? They would give the name, the address, and if it's a proprietorship or a partnership firm, they would also give the GST number, so that we will need a unique identifier, because there may be, if it's a proprietorship or a partnership firm, there may be a lot of companies in the same name. So once they provide that, that is where our team will get into action through the platform called Rubix Arms. I'll just put that up. So this is just a glimpse of the platform, where to the right you can see, this is just a dashboard. So this is the front end of the dashboard the banks or the customers get to see. But there is a very, very robust back end where we built, like you said, robotic tools, which will fetch information from multiple sources. And also it will then analyze a lot of these data points, because when we are assessing a company, it is important to understand both the structured and unstructured information pertaining to that business, right? So all of those information is captured by our bots from a lot of public sources. If it's an MSME, if it's a SME in question, we also use predictive models, where we've built a lot of industry benchmarks across 258 sectors and subsectors, right? Because we do several millions of risk assessments each year. So we are able to set up or establish those benchmarks, using which we are able to ascertain the benchmark PNL for the proprietorship partnership firm, which along with the other information that we get using the bots, etc., is what we use to analyze the company and score the company. So
Yeah,
there is no.
sorry to stop you,
Yes.
Mohanji. So thing is that how this product is for a trade financer. That's I'm a trade financer, okay, where I am giving my customer, okay, I need a platform like you, where my customer can apply for the trade financing, and in the back end there are a lot of financer, multiple banks, okay, and I have to do the due diligence before I submit to the bank on all, or like you said, on the behalf of bank, if they are giving some customer to do the due diligence. So is it both way B2B kind of thing? How it is?
So, sir, if you are one who's facilitating trade finance for your customers,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then the way Rubik steps in is that we can help you assess the risk of the counterparties in question, and those reports will be provided by you to the bank, to the financer, right?
Yeah,
So
true.
and this can be done in a way that we work with practically all the banks through APIs that we built between the Rubik's Arms platform and the bank's core banking system. So the information flows through the API between Rubik's and the bank. And
Got it.
similarly, we can have an arrangement where we would provide reports and the early warning signals on the entities that comes under your purview, which can be transmitted to the bank or any other financer, basis which they can decide, the terms that they want to offer to the companies in question.
Yeah, I think I got the crux of it.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for explaining,
no
Mohanji.
problem. Any other question?
Yeah, Mr. Ramaswamy, I had a question.
Sure.
I was just saying it's a wonderful solution which you all are indicating. In the B2B collection segment that you all are saying, what is the success ratio that you all have seen with the implementation of it coming in? My question is more from the perspective of a BFSI segment where they would be looking at for collection. So how
Sure.
influential is this? And then we would be interested in taking this to the next level.
Sure, ma'am. You represent which bank, ma'am?
No, I represent a financial institution. I will have the details shared probably after we are done with the call or whatever.
Sure, ma'am. So we provided, we sort of, we set up the B2B collections business primarily for corporates, ma'am. We didn't, so we have yet not begun offering this as an offering to banks or financial institutions. We do it largely for corporates because we are anyways doing the risk assessment of their customers or dealers or distributors. So we know exactly what is going on with them. So essentially, when it comes to them getting their money on time, there are two things that need to be ascertained. One, the intent to pay, whether their customers have the intent to pay or they don't have an intent to pay. So that is the first thing that need to be ascertained. Second is the ability to pay. Whether do they have the financial wherewithal or the business wherewithal to make sure that they are able to pay their outstandings in a time-bound manner. Now, these are two things that we are able to assess, basis the risk assessments that we anyways carry out, right? So as an extension to what we do, what we did was that we then built a network. We are also building a platform, or rather in the process of implementing a platform where all of the entire collections process will be fully automated through a workflow where, whether it is to do with sending dunning letters in an automated manner and in a time bound manner to our customer's customer, or storing all the related documents in one place, or applying legal methods, to send out notices, etc., to customers, to our customer's customer again, so on and so forth. So all of this is happening through a network or through a workflow that we have put together. It is today it is outside the technology. It's not, it is we are deploying it through a network that we built, but in almost a month or a couple of months time we are building we will be implementing a workflow solution which will manage the entire process in a fully automated manner. But we are doing this largely for corporates today. We are not yet begun offering the solution to banks and financial institutions.
Okay, but I think with what you're showcasing, I probably feel there will be some scope we can discuss this later and take it. One
Absolutely.
more extension on the same question is, since you have with the data collection, reconciliation, and a lot of other with regard to, of course, recovery and getting the collections affected. Is this done with an in-house team, or you'll have a tie-up with a third party and then you'll get it done, sir? Because the security and the client information data security is where I had a concern.
Yeah. So great point, ma'am, again. So this is done using a combination of both an in-house team that we built and also using some third-party sources also, and the third party is needed primarily because, let's say, if it's a case pertaining to one remote corner of India, right? It is always, I mean, suppose if it is Tiruvananthapuram, for argument's sake, right? A local there would understand what is it that is important that will enable us to finally collect the money, right? We may have all the tools, we may have all the intelligence, we may have everything about that entity, but ultimately, with respect to the last mile effort, we will need that entity on the ground to complete the process, right? So to that extent, we use third party, but from an information standpoint, all of that is controlled centrally. That is the
Okay,
way
that's really
we
fine. Yeah.
that's the
Thank
way
you so
we
much.
sort of manage the entire process.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any more questions? Any more questions?
Okay, I'll then quickly proceed with another small aspect that I wanted to explain. In the meantime, I'm just requesting my colleague Rahul to put up our email IDs on the chat so that anyone who wants to reach out to us will be able to do so. Rahul, can you just
Yeah, Mohan, I will just
do
put
that?
up your email.
Yeah, perfect. So this is a very important aspect, especially when it comes to risk assessment of MSMEs in India. According to us, I mean, so there are two things that we need to keep in mind. One is I mean, when we look at a credit active universe, there are two parts to it. One is bank credit, this is the credit that banks offer to customers, be it MSMEs, large, mid, or small corporates. And the second is trade credit, which corporates offer to their counterparties, right? Because, they also extend credit to their dealer distributors, etc. Now, our estimate of the overall size of this or the number of entities that avail, credit, either bank credit or trade credit, should be close to about 45 to 50 million, right, in India. Now, out of the 50 million, there are only about 1.7 million entities who have to file their financials or returns with the ROC, the registry. And we know that a lot of companies, they don't religiously do that too, but that number is a limited 1.7 million number. So therefore, there is this 95% of the universe, which are essentially proprietorship and partnership firms who don't have to file their balance sheet with anybody. But banks want to lend to them, or fintechs want to lend to them, NBFCs want to lend to them, several other financial institutions want to lend to them because they also need financing. Corporates want to transact business with them. But in the absence of information, how will banks, financial institutions, NBFCs, or corporates, how will they be able to take the right decision is what was the problem in front of us, right? When we started Rubix, this was a big problem that we wanted to solve. Now, here is where what we did was we collected a lot of data points through a lot of primary surveys that we undertook, through a lot of secondary checks that we undertook. And as a result, we've created benchmarks across these 258 sectors and subsectors, which actually helps in analyzing these companies better, thereby enabling banks to lend confidently to them and also corporates to confidently transact business with them. Here is where, we built this model and we've been improving on this model over the past 4 to 5 years. And here is where we recently won the ET award. Again, basis feedback that a lot of our customers gave them with respect to how it is helping them, understand MSMEs a lot better and thereby lend or transact business with them very, very confidently. Right. So this is very, very important. We deploy data modeling. We, like I said, we use market intelligence. We also clean, parse, and standardize the data because there are a lot of tools that we built which that we use to standardize the data points and also enrich the data through multiple means. Then we do MSME risk profiling. We get data from across cities, from tier 1 to tier 4 cities. We also, like I said, we've covered it across 258 sectors and subsectors. We also do the NIC tagging. So we have classified the information basis the line of business that these companies come under, using which
Road CRP Etamarkanana Road.
Using which we've built these benchmarks that we use for risk assessment. So I just wanted to give you the confidence, wanted to show this to you and give you the confidence as to how we analyze MSMEs in India and how this is actually transforming the way decisions were undertaken by banks, by corporates, with respect to the MSMEs. And a lot of MSMEs have also gotten benefited because ultimately they are also banks otherwise, are very comfortable in lending to the large corporates, right? Because they know that the money is secure. But even for the banks, the growth will come in when they are able to confidently lend to the MSMEs. Likewise, for the corporates, again, they are comfortable transacting with large corporates. But when they are able to confidently transact business with dealers and distributors that essentially come under the MSME profile, they are also able to grow the business. And we, therefore, through the models that we built, we are facilitating this process of enabling the corporates and the banks in very, very confidently transacting business with MSMEs, which we believe is transforming the way decision making has traditionally happened. So I just wanted to pause here and I just wanted to end the presentation by thanking you. I didn't get too much into details, but if there is a follow-up session that that any of you need or the OCF needs, I'll be more than happy to do that for you. But I just wanted to pause here to see if there are any more questions, and then we could take it forward accordingly.
Sir, first of all, I would like to congratulate you for so many hours you have got. And it's such a wonderful topic. And OCF, Odisha Corporation Foundation, always trying to give handholding support to all the entrepreneurs from various sectors. And definitely this intervention on this particular topic is going to help everyone. And definitely next follow-up session, we will listen a lot of other technical things from you. Over to you, sir, if anything else you want to talk to our participants today.
No, ma'am, thank you very much. What I will also do is that we will also send across the presentation so that we'll also mention coordinates of our team because, I mean, we like I said, we are working with 1,000+ corporates and practically all the banks in the country. We are also expanding in a big way in the on the eastern side as well. Whether it is Orissa, West Bengal, etc. Working closely with businesses and financial institutions there. So we have a 175-member team that is based across the country. What I will do is that we will share the presentation along with coordinates so that any of you want to reach out to us, we'll be more than happy to do so. One of the important, as a foundation, ma'am, one of the important requirements for a lot of businesses will be LEI. So banks will insist on the legal entity identifiers to be provided so we can facilitate that process. And any risk assessments that any of you want to carry out, we can do that for you at a very good commercial terms, so that it will help you when you decide to transact business with any corporate bank or any other financial institution. Anything else from anyone?
So one last question.
Sure.
When you all are doing the collections and also on the overall solution, you did mention you all do what is called as the risk assessment, and is the reporting also done for the same, which is then provided back to the client that engages with you all? And have you seen any traction in terms of the insights on the risk mitigation processes which have enhanced the compliance standards to a great extent?
Absolutely, ma'am. It's a very brilliant point that you raised, I must admit. And those are all the multiple use cases that we serve. And there are multiple use cases that we serve where this has helped customers in many ways. One, it helps our customers in reducing their overall DSO, the day sales outstanding, where if suppose for businesses, if their DSO has been, let's say, 95 days, right, through these risk mitigation tools that we provide and the intelligence that we provide on businesses, they've been able to reduce the DSO from, let's say, 95 days to anywhere between 45 to 50 days.
500
Secondly,
meters.
because they are able to collect the money faster, the cash flows, there has been better they've been able to manage their cash flows a lot sort of better. A lot of our customers have also benefited from working with the credit-worthy customers, right? So, earlier they were working, given that the decisions largely used to be taken in-house, they used to have a very rough cut way to assess, okay, कौन credit worthy है, किसको कितना credit देना है. But through these tools that we are providing, they are able to course correct and ensure that they work with good credit worthy customers. Where, as a result, they end up not just mitigating their risk, but also growing their business profitably, right? And through these the collections process, specific, now I'll talk specific to do with collections. The we work on many fronts. One is pure collections, where they have found it difficult to collect, so they have passed it on to us. There the success rate has anywhere been between 30 to 50%. We also manage the entire AR, the accounts receivable management. We do that for a lot of our customers, where as a result, their DSO levels have improved significantly. Their cash flow has improved significantly. And as a result, they have also, the overall management of the business has improved significantly over time. So these are many ways in which, establishing these good risk mitigation practices have helped our customers both mitigate risk on one side and also grow their business in a big way.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. I will take the contact details from Musharasi ma'am and OCF. Definitely, I think there is some scope we could look at taking this further. Wonderful presentation and a lot of insights for us. Thank you once again.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Ramasamy, sir. Thank you so much. And definitely, we are looking forward for another session with you very soon.
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you on
Thanks,
behalf
everybody.
of OCF. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all the participants, and thank you, Khilona madam. Thank you so much for asking wonderful questions. Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, ma'am.
I should say this, Usha ma'am. You have been one of the best, I would say, moderators that OCF has had. And most of the engagements for what has been taken as other topics, but the one which Ramaswamy sir has done, I think the prompting the audience also to ask questions and the coverage of the topic is excellent. So definitely we see this as a really good insight for the entire OCF community. And thanks once again to the entire team that have made it happen. Thank you.
Yes, yes, Khilona madam, Behra sir is really trying his all like best possible resource persons he is getting to help all of us, and all credit goes to him only. And definitely Om sir is there in the office to take care of the technical part. So we are really grateful to them to give us all this handholding support. Thank you once again to all of you. Have a good night, good day, good night all of you. Good night.
Thanks, man. Good
Thank
evening.
you.
Bye, bye, bye.